Today, we are seeing what happens when you replace career, civilian, federal staff, lawyers, professionals with sycophants, is that they don't know what they're doing. They lose all the time. And when the Department of Justice under Pam Bondi decided to insert Assistant United States attorneys, bypassing the rules that requires them to be confirmed by Senate and just appoints temporary ones. And when their temporary status as AUSA expired, she just tried to shift them in another position to bypass getting confirmed by Senate. Why? Because they weren't qualified. They didn't have the experience. Think Alina Hopper. Think Lindsay Halligan. Like, never prosecuted whatsoever a case, not even a criminal case whatsoever, and thinking that they can represent the United States and judge in federal courts. That's not going to happen. So anyway, so they tried multiple times. And so I did a video before Pam Bondi was removed, and it was sat in my drafts folders for a long time because I was just unorganized, whatever. So I think that you deserve to see that video. So I'm posting it and sharing it on social media just so you can see it, the extent to which that they are lawless. And this is the Department of Justice, but being a lawless entity. And I'm sweating because I am in another country right now, and it's hot. And I'm in a car because where I am is really, really loud, and there's echo. And this is a video for you, and I want you to hear it. And a car is better, and I can turn on the air conditioning because do you hear the air conditioning? All right, anyway, enough excuses. JJ Lee, each teacher. Check out, and let's see you and talk on the other side. Bye.
The Trump administration insists on not following the law and process for assigning Assistant United States attorneys. Project 2025 said to replace career attorneys with loyalists. And so Pam Bondi's been doing that. And she's been using the law that allows her to place a loyalist who's not confirmed by the Senate, who's not qualified, who doesn't have the experience into AUSA positions. She did that with Lindsay Halligan, which is controversial, with Alina Habba, with Shita Chata, with Bill Asaya, and others. And each time she placed in a loyalist sycophant in those positions on a temporary basis without following the process, which requires Senate confirmation, the judges and the bench of the jurisdiction kick them out. They've been kicking them out all the time. It's gotten so bad in a couple of jurisdictions in, I believe in Virginia and New Jersey, they just don't have an assistant, because the last one in Virginia that Pam Bondi placed in was a loyalist. The judge didn't approve him and kicked him off the bench. After the judge didn't approve the last one, the last AUSA that Pam Bondi installed, the judge presented and confirmed and appointed a new one. And Pam Bondi fired that one. Same thing they did in New Jersey. And she keeps putting in these people. They're so stubborn and they get kicked out. The judge finally said, you know what, you're going to have people who have been indicted just get set free, because we can't just indict them and not prosecute them. So if you're not going to put in a properly formed, properly confirmed U.S. Senate approved Assistant United States attorney, then we just won't have one. They just will languish. And then the judge also said, what the hell is Alina Habba? Why is she checking in? We told her she's not an AUSA. She already conceded. She said she's going to leave, but she keeps going to the office. Who's running the office down there? So the judge said, the guys need to come down and have next week, and we're going to have a hearing. We're going to see what's going on. Who's running things in there? Because this is not cool. This is not kosher. You have to follow the process. The process is you can appoint a temporary person. After the temporary AUSA position lapses, then you have to send them up for, between the time they are appointed and the time it lapsed, you need to go before Senate. But for some reason, they don't put people that can be confirmed by the Senate. Why? Because they don't have experience, like Lindsay Halligan, who the only thing she had done was like a real estate attorney or something like that. She had no prosecutorial experience, no criminal law experience whatsoever. Like, she did real estate law. Like, the last time she probably did criminal law was in law school. And it shows, because when she tried to indict Letitia James, she presented 3 count indictment, and when they didn't approve them, she just removed one and just had the judge sign her removing one without really presenting the 2 count indictment to get approved. She just deleted 1 count, the one that they had problems with, kept the other 2, but didn't represent it, and then had the judge sign it. Had the 4-person and a clerk sign it, and the 4-person and clerk maybe they didn't know the process, or maybe they assumed it was proper, or they didn't read it or whatever. They just signed off on it, and then she took it to the judge, and then she got it approved. It wasn't until the judge was looking at it and said, this doesn't look kosher, and they revealed it and opened it up, because normally grand jury is secret, but the judge was like, this is such an egregious error. I have to make sure everyone knows this, including the other side. And so the unprecedented mood of the judge releasing that indictment, which is normally not done, just so we can see that this woman was creating fraud. And so that was one instance. And then there was the instances where there was typos. She, at one point, presented something and it wasn't based on anything. It wasn't substantial. It didn't have support. Just so many rookie mistakes, because she was doing this as she goes. And that's not the standard of AUSAs. They have a higher standard, because this is like they're representing the United States government. And so this was the person trying to get indictment on Letitia Games, and they just kept getting kicked out. And similar, she was also the person in charge of Comey. And the reason why she was doing it, because no other DOJ rank and file was going to do it, because they knew it was based on nothing. They knew there was no substance behind it, that it was something that was going to lose. And they didn't want their name and their reputation for this brief moment of this crazy time era of this ridiculous administration regime to pass through. They didn't want to sacrifice their name by co-signing, by participating in it, by essentially validating it. So because there's no real legitimate AUSA that would do it, they have to go find these loyalists who are willing to volunteer tribute and put themselves out there and look like a fool, become a household name for being incompetent, because that's Lindsay Halligan. She doesn't know what she's doing. And then Alina Habba, she just seems like you're so desperate and so pathetic. Like each time they kick her out, she keeps going back. She's like the cat. You ever know the song, The Cat Came Back? But the cat came back, but the very next day. It's a song I know from childhood, but that's what they are. But this is a whack-a-mole administration. When they're blocked from doing something, they just come right back, and they don't listen, and they just don't abide by judicial orders or court orders. They do eventually, but they always put up a resistance. They always fight. They always appeal. They will always not respond. They will always, until pushed, they require the opponents to rush to court and ask the court to force them to comply, or to essentially just wasting time, because each time an opponent has to come back to court, that's costing them money. So they just essentially racking up the bills, because they keep doing these things. The entire administration keep doing things and lose. And they lose in court. The parties that are the winners will ask the court for the United States government to pay back their legal fees. And so every single time they don't do something wrong, it's bringing the legal fees up. I have an example of this. At one point, there was a class certification from last Trump term. And this Trump term, in the beginning of it, there was negotiation on the final amount based on the class. The class had been done, the case was over, and they were negotiating the amount on this term. Though it started during Donald Trump's term, the case and everything percolated and went through the whole cycle during the Biden era, and they were done. So during Trump's second term, they're not dealing with the money. And the Trump administration was asking, how come the invoice keeps going up? Like, we already settled on a specific amount, and we saw the invoice of a specific amount. Now we're seeing invoice for a higher amount. It's a substantial amount more. What's the deal? You know what they said? Is because since the settlement, since the class action, since we represented these parties and we were done with it, you have since violated the same class action, so you violated the class action settlement, and we had to go represent a new person that qualifies under the settlement, under the class, and they have their needs, and they're in trouble because of your policies. And so that increased the bill. So all you had to do was leave it alone. And that is the lesson there. Just leave stuff alone. Don't revoke the grants. Don't stop people, deny people their due process rights for Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, whatever, for what you're going to take something away. Don't take stuff away. Don't governed by culture wars, because when you're governed by culture wars, you're making all these decisions that are hazardous and dangerous, and the output, the end game behind it is that you lose. And when you lose, we have to pay. And you would think that'd be the end of it. You've already cost us the money of having to pay for these lawyers and whatever penalties that you cost us that. Now, let's learn a lesson from it and move on. No, they would appeal it. Or they will just keep challenging it. That's why I call them the whack-a-mole. It's a whack-a-mole administration. It's very dangerous. It's very costly. And the other side of this, we're going to tabulate. I'm cost between calculate and tabulate. We're going to tabulate the final cost of all the stuff that happened with this administration, all the excess spending, the unnecessary, needless lawfare. like as plaintiffs and just as defendants. They seem to wear it as a badge of honor because that's all Donald Trump's. Like his whole career, he's been involved in, I don't know, something like 450 whatever lawsuits. A good chunk of them he started. He's always suing. Right now, he's just got lost. He tried to sue. Was it New York Times? Oh, CNN for making the words "the big lie," for defamation. First of all, it's true. It is a big lie, and truth is the defense to defamation. You did not win the 2020 election. It is a big lie. So it was stupid. It kept getting kicked out of court, and the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals was like, we're not gonna grant you the en banc review, which means like the full panel. So the 3 panel that affirmed the lower court's decision to kick Donald Trump's CNN lawsuit out. I said, so we're not touching it. And now he has to ask the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, he's just been finished cussing out. Why would you cuss out the body that did all this nice stuff for you? Why are you so ungrateful? Anyway, dumbass. He's so stupid. He doesn't think. He's so, I'm like, we're just counting down. TikTok. Thank God he's like on his way out. Hopefully sooner than later. Forgive me, God. Whew. Anyway, so that's where we are. Anyway, I digress. JJ Legal, each one teach one. Share this video so more people know. And yeah, I'm having a hard time keeping up. Getbox.com is cloud storage. Keep all your files and keep your phone and your laptop and your computers free. That's what I use to keep up with these cases. You should too.